Shalom, shalom. Holy Sabbath. As today is a day that I choose to switch it up a little bit. Something else that comes very natural to me is to always pay homage and thank the Creator of creation for progress, for life, for light, for dark. For if there was no dark, then one would find the light maybe be useless. See if I can adjust things a little bit here. Today I opened my spirit and my heart. Last night I downloaded again the seal portion. I went to spinning and then asking my spirit to just lead and guide me, and it landed on 30. So we'll run. Yeah. Heavenly Father, as this day opens up, I ask that you lead my spirit, Creator of creations. I hold none for self. So whatever reason that I may be doing this video at this moment, I want no pay. I want no gratification. I want no newspaper ads, front page, back page, comedy page, etc. Truly just doing it because my spirit is allowing me to do it, because I have the choice and the right, if nothing else, to be other than what this world wants me to be. So in this moment, this is a part of me that is me, also with the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I thank you, Father, for loving me so much that you would put me in this position at this moment on Mother Earth to be able to share, whether anyone hears it one day or I'm just expressing my self-awareness and consciousness. I thank you for loving me, that you would create me. I beg for the forgiveness of our ancestors, our forefathers and mothers that came before us, those that are with us at this moment, and those that will come after us. May your will be done at all four corners of your earth. All that Mother Earth touches, the sun touches, stars. Thank you. So last night I was able to stroll as I usually do. I asked the Spirit to guide me, and it landed on chapter 30, and so I began to read in the seal portion. And so for the way that I've found power is trying to back up what I just read to make sure that I'm understanding the message. So we'll open now this Holy Bible. And I don't know where I'm opening. I do have a marker in it, but I'll make sure that I don't open into that. Go towards the front of the Bible, and I'll just open it. And I'll begin to read to see if there's any correlation with what the Spirit is relaying to me. So, chapter 5, Leviticus. And if a soul sin and hear the voice and swearing, it is a witness. Whether he hath seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear its iniquity. Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of an unclean cattle, or the carcass of an unclean creeping things, and if it hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty. And I will continue to read till maybe 4 and 5 of these chapters, and see if there's any correlation with chapter 30 from the seal portion that I can relate to. And usually this is how I find spirit. So as I begin this lesson on this day, that is how I would begin it. And then I wanted to address a couple things if I can. In this world, I've been thinking about the freedom of choice, right? The idea that you have the free will, and then how powerful that is in itself. Um, if and when you have all the gold that you can bear to carry, how do you wield that kind of power? If you were given the biggest bomb that this world has ever seen of love, uh, how do you spread that love? How do you use such a power? And free will and choice is something that is a life lesson. And I understand and I'm overstanding that that's a question that one usually chases throughout life, using your free will for good or not so good. And then later on in life, having to deal with that because of your free will, the choices that we make throughout life. To have that kind of power in your hands and to wield it righteously is I don't know, it's one worth seeing. As I sometimes find myself in a place where ridicule and attack people usually go after those that you seem to be inspired by, and or even directly at you, and they attack you to, I guess, to get you to defend yourself, or because for every action there's a cause, and so is it to play out that moment? I wrote a song once, and um, the idea was you have free will every day to do what you will with it. If someone gets in your face and try to provoke you by attacking those that you love or you admire or you inspire by or learn by, how then do you use your free will and choice to defend that? Or do you defend it? Or do you not defend it? I've always tried to find the message and the spirit of the Creator in whatever religion that I came across. I've always respected it and never went into any room or with a non-open heart where I wasn't willing to learn from others who spoke different languages or came from different places. And for that reason, I can stand here today and say it's been a spiritual journey for me around this globe, learning from so many different walks, culture. I've always came to the conclude that it's one sky, so one creator. What separates us is bridges, boundaries, languages. But the free will of choice to will such a power and do good with it is almost like having that big weapon I was just talking about at your hands every day, and will the choice and the free will to do righteous by it. I've walked in this world in several different walks and careers and around numerous different people who comes from different backgrounds. And I've never entered a room and didn't come out closer than I went in with whoever I was into that space and time with. Do you continue to defend yourself or fight battles that is if every day someone says something negative about you, you would be fighting every day. So on and so forth. So this is true. Also, in the sense that even to attack one who inspires others is the same art of war, if you will. So mindful of that. And so I choose to not interact with certain things in this world. But that doesn't mean that I'm not human and I don't feel the suffering, or I don't hear cries, or I don't have a heart for all the people who suffer from this man's war that is, in my lifetime, I've seen generations, and because I've been fortunate enough to read so many history books and around so many people, I have seen stories of war, not just history of the United States, but history among several countries. And I've heard some of the best quotes and heartfelt messages from some of the best generals and warriors that have fought for their country. And I've always found that they had a spirit of the Creator within them, no matter what name or religion that they followed. And I've always found a connection with that, and I found respect. So I empathize with those that suffer, because I understand a lot of the suffering is at times caused by decisions, and that word is again choices, and our free will that we make. But then a lot of other times it's out of your control. And because of that, others suffer to war, to the war on not having a home, to the war of being talked about and dragged down through there, to the war of not having food. These things are human. They are not set up by any politician or religion. These are human things that we should want to do. And in doing that for others, if we continue to play these politics or these race games or these capitalist angles, then we'll continue to watch each other suffer. But we know how to fix these things. We put more on budgets for things that don't affect everyday people than we do on the things that destruct this world. And at the end of the day, I come to find that more than just some is guilty of that, because we say on Sundays and Sabbath that we love our creators, but during the rest of the week we find ways to divide amongst each other instead of finding the one human righteous thing to do. Home, food, essentials. And for that, we have continued to read about suffering and live it, and truth unspoken created it. And we play a huge part in this as we continue to, on our days of worship. Then the rest of the days we go and vote on policies, or we go and do that favorite quote that I love here. I just had a job to do. And it's at a point now where it has contradicted one another. So I have a lot of other things in this world that no longer serve a purpose. And instead of doing away with it, we either put Band-Aids on it or we stitch it up for the next generation. Cowardly. Or we choose to avoid it and continue to throw it under mountains and rugs and pretend like it don't exist. And that suppresses our true feelings. That suppresses our true voice, our true nature, because our spirit and heart knows righteous, but yet in life we let the verses of that coin wins by way of default. If I'm guilty of anything in this world today, Creator, it would be that I stood against that at the time where most around me was afraid to even go there, at their age. I've never asked anyone for help financially, spiritually, etc., etc. But I've always had enough, because I've always believed in something greater than self. It has to be the Creator. And I'm cautious these days. So if it's okay with the world, I would like to just say the way of the light to the light, from which we all return, we all come from, and one day pray we will return. Because as soon as you start putting names, you begin to divide each other, and we miss the one common goal. Humans are all just really the same. Certain things separate them, conversations, etc. And some of us choose to pick up battles of our fathers and carry it. And I've read through so much history around so many parts of this world that that is a race that hasn't ended for so many. And so if we continue to choose to take that approach, that just keeps us, at least that way of thinking in some aspects, on that thing we call a hamster wheel. Oh, I'm past 15 minutes. And thank the Lord for letting me speak freely. And at least in this moment, I feel attacked for doing so, no matter the angle. And as we all begin to seek out your face more now than ever, may we find a thing that connects us to you versus divide us from you. And I ask this with all of my heart, from all of your creation of the sons, prophets, leading to the sun, the way to the light, and you being the light. I love you with all my spirit, heart, strength, and I thank you for this day and this moment, for I have chose to use my free will to speak freely. Shalom, man.